This is the only class where mothers feed their babies with milk made by their own body. Who are they? Now, this class is under the phylum Chordata. So, which class is this? The mothers make their own milk and feed their own baby. Which class do you think is this? So, just for you to think about it, they produce milk and the baby feed directly from the milk. This is Mammalia. Mammals are known as animals. They give birth to their young ones alive, and they go high level of parental care. It's very common to mammals to take care of their young ones a lot. All right. What's mammals? Mammalia comes from the Latin word mamma, meaning breast, referring to mammary glands. And these mammals are warm-blooded vertebrates with hair of fur. They have hair of fur. Hair, we human beings will have hair. While animals they have what we call fur that feed their young ones with milk. Okay, and cows are really so mammals that really produce large amounts of milk, which we humans tend to utilize these days to make nice tea and prepare yogurt and other important milk related products. Okay, so example of mammal they include you have a dog, you have your whales, you have your bats, you have your elephants, you have your cows. And now bats have wings. How come they are called mammals? Why they know are the eaves? Why don't know are the eaves? Why not called birds? All right, because they are mammals, they will give birth to their young ones alive, unlike birds that lay eggs. So this makes them to stand out. Okay, so where can you find them? So they are found almost everywhere on land, in water, for example, like your whales. Why are whales not called fishes? All right, so they're found in water and in air, for example, like the bats. Okay, so the body covering skin is covered with hair or fur. Like we human beings will have hair, while the animals they have fur, and this hair for insulating the body. Very important. So you can see these are fur. They have fur skins that make them to undergo what we call insulation. That make them to have body heat and prevent excessive cold. And don't forget that mammals are adapted to different environments. So because you have fur doesn't mean you can stay in a very cold region. You may tend to die or be in a region that's very hot. So they're all adapted to different environments. So mammals are homothermic, which means they're warm-blooded animals, and the body temperature stays constant regardless of the environment. Okay, so these are different mammals, and they're all warm-blooded animals. So they have mammary glands. Females have mammary glands, which they use to produce milk, and they use those milk to nurse the young ones. And this is the single most defining feature of this glass. Mammary glands. They produce milk, and the young ones feed from the milk. And a very good example of this organism, you have your cows, which are known for producing large amounts of milk. So instead of breathing, they breathe using only the lungs for breathing. All right, they have a well specialized lungs, which they use for gaseous exchange. So teeth, they have different type of teeth. They have the incisors, they have the canines, they have the molars, and they also have what called what the premolars. All right, they have incisors, canines, molars, and also what the premolars. And each type of teeth is what is adapted for a particular diet. All right. So in terms of movements, most mammals walk or run on four limbs. They have four type of limbs. They have the four limbs and the hind limbs. Okay. Why some of them swims, like some of them used to swim, like the whales, and some of them fly like that of the bats. Don't forget we have different species of bats. All right. So they run, they fly, and they also fly. They swim. Okay. They're like different species of the mammals. So in terms of reproduction, fertilization is what internal, and most mammals are viviparous. They give birth to young ones alive. They're viviparous. Okay. And one important thing, there's an exception. There's a mammal known as what the platypus. Okay, so platypus are oviparous, meaning they lay egg instead of giving birth to young ones. These are platypus. They lay eggs instead of giving birth to young ones alive. So that is an exception. Okay. So one question: a whale live in water its whole life, just like a fish. So why is it classified as mammal and not Pisces? All right. Why is whales don't know as why are they not called fish? Why are they not called Pisces? Why are they not known as Pisces? All right. So whales they have lungs, and again they are warm-blooded. They have hairs. They produce milk, and they also give what birth to the young ones and life. That's why they're known as what mammals, not known as. That's why I'm not called all the Pisces. Importance of mammalias: they provide food like milk, meat, and labor. For example, cattle and horses help humans for movement to go to a long place, like your donkey. You want to go to a desert, donkey can help you. But if you go to a desert with a donkey and you're not prepared, the donkey will be alive and the past you as a human being will die because the desert is not well adapted for humans because the temperature is very very terrible. Okay, so they show the most complex brains and behavior among vertebrates. So we human beings will have a very complex brain and we're very active. All animals they also have a complex brain and make them to be able to be active. So many act as pests, offering companionship and security, and many play key roles in ecosystem as predators, prey, and seed dispersers. And one other information you need to know is that most mammals they are diurnal. They're diurnal because they're active during the day. They're diurnal because they're active during the day. They are not unlike most organisms that are nocturnal. Like for example, cats are nocturnal. Yes, some mammals are nocturnal, like cats, which are nocturnal because they're active at night. At night, you see them walking around at night. But most mammals they're diurnal because they're active during the day, which is very important to know their time of activities. Just to recap, they have hair and fur, which help for insulation for the body. They are warm blooded, which means which means they have what they regulate the constant temperature in the body. They have a constant body temperature, and they have lungs for breathing on land, in water, and on air. And they have mammary glands, which they use to produce milk, which they use to feed their young ones. And then they go we call live births, because most mammals are viviparous. So it's very, very important to understand all these key features. Okay. So this is the end of this video. So I'm going to see you in my next video, and thank you for watching this video to this point.